What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Apocaflix Now here on a Thursday night. And yes, we are back doing live here on a Thursday evening, and there's a good reason why. We are here to talk some massive news that happened just a short time ago at the Disney Investor Day. And all kinds of craziness, chaotic stuff happened. And we're here to break it all down. It is the crew. It is myself, Jake Berlin. I am your host for tonight. Jacob Bartley will be with us. He's running just a tad bit late. He's got some stuff going on because we are starting a little bit early. As you can tell, it's not our normal time, but some things happen on Thursday when it gets wild. And then we have Mr. Brian Avlicino right there on the right-hand side, and below him, Mr. Gio Ramos. And joining the show for the very first time is Mr. Billy Polyhan? Polyhan. Everyone's muted. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. There we go.
I was waiting to see how long we would go with this whole episode. Could have just been you. Like, honestly, you would have been totally fine with it.
I mean, I would have. But I'm here to talk with you guys because we have a lot of cool things to talk about. But before we get to that, how's everybody doing? How was everyone's Thursday? Thursday evening, Thursday. Weekend's almost here.
Go ahead, Gio.
Overwhelmed.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
I'm currently putting food in my body, so I stop shaking from excitement.
That's fair.
Yeah, just like you're drinking whiskey.
Oh, are you?
It's a calming thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing to say.
Billy, I love your shirt, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Love your shirt.
It was actually not planned, but it just worked out perfectly.
Is that Cobra Kai?
Perfect.
It is Cobra Kai.
Nice.
It's perfect. Stacy, what's up? Thank you for joining us. To everybody else watching as well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. So the way it's going to work today, or tonight, I should say, we're going to get to Star Wars, we're going to get to Marvel, and then we're going to get to some Disney / Lucasfilm stuff that's not those kind of properties towards the end. So we're gonna kind of break it up in sections. I'm gonna kind of run through what was announced, and then we're just gonna have an open discussion about things that we're most excited about, reactions to this title being announced, etc., etc. And that'll kind of be the process as we go on throughout the night. But before we get to that, I do want to reveal our watch along that's happening next week. We did a poll that's been going on for the last 2 weeks or so, and we had 5 movies to choose from. And we're going to be doing our watch along next Thursday, which is the 17th. And the 5 movies that were of choice for this month were Galaxy Quest, GoldenEye, Iron Man 3, Small Soldiers, and Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Now, if I'm not mistaken, no one knows what is won, correct?
I don't.
Nope. I kind of forgot that was going on.
Me too.
Yeah. So, all right. So here are the results. So it was actually a very close race until recently. We had over 80 votes come in, and the ultimate winner with a 38%, an overwhelming victory, was none other than Galaxy Quest.
Hey.
Galaxy Quest, of course. And I said it when it was announced by Jacob, and he'll be very excited when he pops in here and he knows. The poll, it was instantly won the second this movie was announced. As much as I want to say something like Small Soldiers or GoldenEye. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, nice.
I would have loved to have seen Small Soldiers or GoldenEye or any of those other movies, but it was always going to be Galaxy Quest. And so next Thursday at 7 o'clock, which may change to 6 o'clock. Just stay tuned for that. Next Thursday, we'll be hanging out and watching Galaxy Quest.
I'm curious. What came in second?
Oh, okay. So second, here's the breakdown. Small Soldiers had 22%, came in second. Iron Man 3 with 18, and then tied with 10% were Star Trek 2 and GoldenEye.
Dang.
Wow, Small Soldiers second.
Yeah. What's
going on, guys? Is that Marvel fatigue setting in?
Oh,
no love for Iron Man 3.
Here we go.
You guys, hey, Billy, I have to tell you about the voting poll and Snyder Cut later on, okay? It's a funny story.
I'm surprised that you guys aren't going to watch Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition again.
Hey, vote on it. Vote on it, everyone, okay?
Hell yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Well, let's just stop pushing off the inevitable here, and let's get to the craziness that happened. This whole Disney Investor Day thing has been hyped up for the last week or so. It's been rumored and talked about how there were going to be some major reveals happening for this thing. And then New York Times came out and said, yes, there's going to be reveals, but also Lucasfilm is going to change the future and reveal a massive expansion of the Star Wars franchise. And boy, did that happen. Now, I'm going to run through everything that was announced. And so the panel started off with Kathleen Kennedy coming on, and she was talking about The Mandalorian and everything, loving about that. And then she led right into two properties, two brand new television shows that are being worked on by both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni together. And they're going to be working in the same timeline as The Mandalorian. And at one point, they will connect for a event, essentially, is what the MCU has done. The three shows will come together for an event. And those two shows are Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka. Ahsoka is officially getting her live-action debut show. It will be on Disney Plus, and it's awesome. Super, super pumped about it. But that is followed up by some chaotic news throughout the galaxy far, far away. So we obviously know that Cassian Andor's show is in the works. It officially started filming. We got an actual logo about it, a really badass logo. The show is officially called Andor.
Awesome.
It also came with a behind-the-scenes sizzle reel showing some behind-the-scenes information from the cast and crew, as well as some small snippets of footage. And then that was followed up by a major announcement of the Obi-Wan series, which is officially titled Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, I just noticed the eye is his lightsaber.
It is his lightsaber. Obi-Wan Kenobi, we obviously know it's coming, but it is official. And not just that, but Hayden effing Christensen is going to return as Darth Vader. And as what Kathleen Kennedy describes as the battle of the century. Massive, massive, massive. Yes, Molly, something big did happen. Something big.
Hi, Rachel.
But look, Kenobi wasn't the end of it because it kept coming and coming. And we thought Hayden Christensen coming back to Star Wars might be the biggest news to ever come out of the galaxy far, far away. But then this happened. Rogue Squadron from the DC Wonder Woman film director, Patty Jenkins. Yep. She will be tackling a brand new set of characters in Rogue Squadron. And we don't know when exactly what happened. I think that they said it's actually going to film next year, and then it'll come out in 2022. So the turnaround is actually very quick. And so that'll probably take place directly after her press tour and everything is done for Wonder Woman 1984. But as I told Brian earlier, I'm taking it. This is Top Gun in space, baby. This is Top Gun in space.
Hey, that was my line.
You're lying. Top Gun in space is coming from the director of Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984, which is big because she also revealed in a little teaser on her Twitter that she's actually the daughter of a fighter pilot, which is really cool. We'll dive into that as well. That is not outdone by a number of other things, as well as a TV show called The Acolyte. Is taking place during the time period of the High Republic, the brand new Star Wars setting of books and comics that is coming out in just about a month or so. We're going to be getting a Star Wars live action show set during that period. And again, once we get into these, we'll dive into the descriptions and everything like that. And that was followed up by the return of Donald Glover's Mando with this awesome logo. A live-action series on Disney Plus with Donald Glover returning as the character and possibly many others from a movie that you might know as Solo: A Star Wars Story. There were also shows announced like this show called Star Wars Visions, which is an anime show, which is really, really cool. Very different take on Star Wars. And then no logo, but the show for the animated show for C-3PO and R2-D2 as well, which is a cool little adventure show that's coming for the galaxy far, far away as well. All right, gents. There's so much to talk about here. There's so much to digest. Let's just. Oh, and I forgot to mention the Bad Batch, which we knew was coming, but we did get a trailer, which looked great. And I'm sure we can bring that up as well. Yes, Rachel, I did collapse at one point doing all of this stuff because it's absolutely just chaotic. And also, I didn't mention, but Taika Waititi's Star Wars as well was officially revealed and announced. And I'll throw this image up. These are all of the logos. The R2-D2 show, A Droid Story, which is the R2-D2 and C-3PO show. But those are all of the logos and shows and movies that were announced today that are officially the Star Wars future going forward, minus the Taika Waititi Star Wars, which did have a really cool logo, by the way, if you did see it. Let's just open conversation, boys. What do we want to talk about first? What is it that the one thing from this announcement of Star Wars that stood out to you the most?
One. Yeah, that's a tough question. Jeez. I mean, I want to say Lando, but then I want to talk about the Acolyte, but then Patty Jenkins. Oh, I don't know. Somebody go first. Somebody.
Okay, I'm gonna say Hayden Christensen is back in Obi-Wan.
Yes.
You don't understand how much I love Hayden Christensen. It's ridiculously crazy. Like I was talking with Brian about this before the show. Like I remember when I was 8 and I begged my dad to take me to see Revenge of the Sith because I thought Anakin was so cool. I dressed up as Anakin like from Attack
Nice.
when I was a kid, and just like I thought Hayden Christensen was so cool. I thought he was going to get like the biggest career. I was so sad that he didn't, and I will defend his acting to this day. Like there was a movie he did called Shattered Glass, and he's incredible in it. Like no joke. And just to see him back, it's a lot like when they got Ahmed Best for that Jedi Temple challenge.
Oh
Yeah.
Like they did not deserve the hate that they got. Like not to that degree. And I'm just really glad that he's back, man. And same with Ewan.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, man. I'm somebody who grew up on the prequels, so regardless of the kind of hate that they may still have today, I think people actually appreciate it a little bit more today than they did then. But it will always have a special place in my heart, and I'm with you. I will defend Hayden Christensen and the performance he gave in Revenge of the Sith. Not an easy role to do, especially given the history of that character at that time, going back to the original Star Wars. So I am so looking forward to this. I'm curious though, like I don't think we'll actually see Hayden Christensen that much. I mean, maybe. Do you guys think there'll be some flashbacks? Obviously,
there will 100% be Clone Wars flashbacks.
Okay,
1,000%. I'm gonna lose my mind seeing live action Clone Wars outfits from them. They're gonna bring those Clone Wars costumes to life, man, and I'm gonna lose it.
Imagine Rex.
It's gonna be a beautiful thing for sure.
That shoulder pad from Obi-Wan, and just it's gonna be so good.
I'm surprised you're not wearing your jacket.
I know I should have. I totally should have, but I mistakenly didn't do it. Yes, I know. Real quick, I do want to bring this up because Brian was able to upload this. Here is the title for Taika Waititi's Star Wars. There's the logo. That's what the logo looks like for now, and that may change obviously, but classic Taika fashion, very Thor Ragnarok-ish colors, very different writing in Star Wars, which I totally go for. Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to talk about, like the Acolyte, it's Ahsoka. She's getting a live action Star Wars series on Disney Plus. It's insane. I know some people are talking about Obi-Wan. We're gonna get back to it because Jacob, who's on his way, is by far the biggest Obi-Wan fan that we know. He'll bring it up for sure. But look, Ahsoka, she absolutely crushed it when we saw her in Mando, to a lot of people's surprise. The way they were able to capture her was incredible in live action. Rosario Dawson, I had said this on Twitter and multiple places, that she wasn't playing Ahsoka, she was playing Ashley Eckstein, which is why it works so well. And if she continues to do that, the character is going to totally thrive in this setting. Now, whether or not it's 1 season, 2 seasons, whatever, I'm not looking ahead too much, because if it is just 1 season, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm totally cool with them just doing 6 to 8 episodes of a character, and then, like they mentioned, it all coming back into Mandalorian at some point for one big event. I have a feeling that event is probably Thrawn. It would kind of make sense in a way, and I'm gonna leave that for Brian because I know he wants to talk about that probably.
No, not so much Thrawn right now.
But when I saw that Ahsoka logo, I flipped the F out. People. All right, before Gio and Brian go, I'm gonna bring on our 5th member, Mr. Jacob Barley. He is with us. What's up, Jacob?
Hey guys. Hey, did I miss anything exciting today? I haven't really been paying attention.
Nah, not much.
You've only been getting a million messages from Gio.
I have my Avengers Cup to celebrate.
Hey.
Yeah, so we're just simply talking about Star Wars right now. Jacob, you know everything that was announced, correct?
For the most part, yeah. Maybe I missed the small details, but I know all the big stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're just talking about things that we're looking forward to the most out of the whole entire thing. Billy and I went. So whoever wants to go up next and bring up something, why don't you go and step forward? Brian,
I want to know, Jacob, did you see the Obi-Wan logo?
No, I didn't know they were doing a.
Hold your pants.
Here you go.
Hold your pants.
Oh man!
Look at the eye at the end.
Oh, that is amazing.
You want to know the best part?
Oh, it's his full name too.
Okay, when they showed it, it came together through sand.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
didn't know there was a
I wanted
presentation.
to upload the files, but I wasn't able to do it in time.
And not to mention, Jacob, Jake, you want to say that quote Kathleen Kennedy said again?
Yeah, so the way she described the series once they announced that Hayden Christensen was coming back, she said, "quote This will be the battle of the century."
Oh my goodness!
So Vader's not just like coming in for like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like this is like a full on thing between Obi-Wan and Vader.
That is incredible. Like we're actually gonna see, and if it's not obvious on it. No, out of all the announcements, that is the number one thing for me. Out of all, there's no question about it. And not just because I was looking forward to Obi-Wan, but I mean, we all know how big of Star Wars fans each other are, and we all grew up on the prequels and the Battle of at Mustafar. So we get round 2, or I guess, round 2, and I guess A New Hope was round 3. I guess now, and I'm not sure if you guys talked about that, but. When Vader says last time we met, you were the master, I was the learner or whatever. And we always said he could be referring to another time because you could argue that when they meet 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, that Obi-Wan maybe still has the upper hand at that point. He's not that old yet. So yeah, oh my goodness. Who would have thought? We thought this Obi-Wan series was going to be like this little, just like, hermit in his cave watching over Luke. That's it. But no, they're going big, and I love it.
Interesting question, and this is brought up by Molly.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Padme cameo?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because if they go flashbacks,
I need a nightmare scene.
You like the Darth Vader comic.
Yes. Can you imagine?
I'd be down for that.
Can you imagine you have Hayden Christensen in the back of the tank? And he's just like imagining, and then he has like a nightmare of like, why didn't you save me? Like, oh my God, I would.
It reminds me of I don't know if you guys remember the Wolverine where he's in Japan, and Logan kept having those flashbacks of Jean Grey, and they could definitely do something like that. So
almost like a haunting, where she's haunting him in a way.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, she's coming back for Thor: Love and Thunder. So,
not Ragnarok. Jesus.
Hey, come back. Yeah, why not?
I could see it.
Is there a possibility we see Anakin, or not Anakin? Do we see Hayden Christensen as Vader without the helmet?
Yeah, I think there'll be at least a shot. Why not?
I do think we'll get at least one shot of him.
Yeah, probably
destroyed.
It'll be something similar to Rebels, I think. Where we kind of see his mask gets broken. I'm not saying his mask is going to get broken again, but it'll be something like that. I don't think we're going to get a full headshot without any covering at all. But I think we'll get something because why bring Hayden back if you're not going to actually show him? He might not even do the voice. I think he will actually.
I think he will too. Or they might get whoever did the Rebels voice might do it too.
I think it'll be when he doesn't have his mask on, it'll be just Hayden. And when he puts the mask on, they'll do some type of, mixed in with the Rebel voice actor or something.
Can you imagine? Think of how ruthless and violent and murderous Vader was at the end of Rogue One.
That's what I was thinking of. Yep.
Well, he's younger.
And this is 10 years before that. Because Jacob. So they said it's officially set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, that's a good spot because you don't want to be too close to it.
Yeah, so it's far enough away. It's directly in the middle of Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. And obviously we know that Deborah Chow was doing the entire series. and we've seen what she can do with action. My goodness,
Beautiful choice.
Putting Hayden Christensen back in the suit. He's able to do action scenes.
How did they announce Hayden? Because I didn't know there was a presentation. Once I realized there was,
the way it all worked, the way that they all of it worked, they brought Kathleen Kennedy was on screen, and she's like, so Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it was essentially like a green screen behind him in a way, and images would pop up behind him.
Yeah,
and she was like, yeah, so we're so excited to have Ewan McGregor back, and then she goes, also returning Hayden Christensen as Darth. A picture of him showed up. And everyone, I imagine, everywhere lost their shit.
I wish I was watching that live. Yeah, that's incredible.
You'll probably rewatch it and still lose your shit. Just
much
Just like Brian in this photo. Hold on. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of pictures of that reaction. That was the Jedi episode of Mandalorian.
I had one of those too. I had one of those today. Definitely.
Well, Gio and Brian, you guys want to bring up anything, that Star Wars related that you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, I'll just go. For me, it's Patty Jenkins doing Rogue Squadron. I mean, proven talent.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about the score. Sorry, Gio.
Oh, who's going to do the score?
No, but I
think Ludwig Göransson should do all Star Wars series.
Who?
Ludwig Göransson should do all the Star Wars series.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Can you imagine the rematch music?
Duel of Fates has to be plastered in there somewhere. It's got to be. Or, no, the Anakin Obi-Wan's. The Anakin Obi-Wan has got to be in there at some point.
Isn't it Heroes? Something Heroes?
Well, it's called Anakin vs. Obi-Wan.
I have it playing in my head right now.
It's so good. So good. Anyway, Gio, go. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it's Rogue Squadron for me. Patty Jenkins, look, proven talent as far as Oscar films go, proven talent as far as blockbuster films go. And with this one, I love that it's a very personal story for her. You know, the story that she told about her father.
So true. So
literally, the second I heard Patty Jenkins, I literally thought of Gio and Billy. I went, "Oh my God, they're losing their minds."
Hey, I'm telling you, man, those DC directors, they could do some pretty good Star Wars movies. I'm telling you, get Snyder on board. Anyways, yeah, I'm totally looking forward to this. I mean, this
right, Brian.
Say what?
No, Brian, Christ. When you said Snyder, I'm just like, oh no, you would admit it would look pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Unlike anything we've ever seen. But anyways,
thank you.
Yes. See,
finally,
and there were two. Yes, somebody who understands me. I appreciate you, man.
You guys start.
Anyways, what was I saying? Yes, Patty Jenkins. Rogue Squadron. It'll be. I mean, it's unlike anything that has ever been done as far as a Star Wars feature film. I mean, this will be a lot of aerial battles. You guys said Top Gun. I completely agree with you. Top Gun in space. I expect either Charlize Theron or Gal Gadot to be in this movie. Hopefully both. Why not?
My God, Charlize Theron in this movie.
Get some badass female pilots.
Wow. Yeah. Jake would not be able to contain himself. Can you imagine her just being the leader of Rogue Squadron? Oh my God.
That's honestly, I will say this. I think that there is a possibility we see Chris Pine because he was a fighter pilot in Wonder Woman.
That's possible too. I'd be down for that.
I could see him being a rebel type.
Yep.
I could totally see that.
We're gonna see a squadron of 5 of them, so there's gonna be 5 big names that join this cast.
It's crazy. Yeah, Jake, I'm with you. This one, I didn't even think that this kind of movie would happen. You know, I mean, I'm over here thinking, you know, hey, what's Ryan Johnson up to? You know, what's Taika up to? But hey, they got Patty Jenkins. She's the first female director, right, for a theatrical Star Wars.
That's another big thing.
Not a bad name to get. Absolutely. So, Rogue Squadron.
The fact that no one knew either, like this was not even the concept of it. No one even knew the concept of it. But like Patty Jenkins was hiding under the cover of Wonder Woman 84 for probably so long that it was perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just.
Did anybody see her Twitter video that she posted?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Jacob, go back and watch it because it's a really cool video. It's only like a minute or so, but she's talking about why she's doing this film, and she reveals in the clip that she's actually the daughter of a fighter pilot.
Oh, that's cool.
And so she has a history with it. She grew up around the fighter pilot mentality. But the key to this video is that there's already like a slight score implanted within the video that might play into the movie. And I about lost it when I heard Star Wars music. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I got to check that out. That was almost the runner-up for me. That's amazing that she's doing that. And they've been talking about, Lucasfilm got a lot of, heat for not having a female Star Wars director so far. And, you arguably brought in the best person for the job right now. So I'm excited for that.
All right. Well, Brian, you want to talk about The Acolyte?
Why you got to spoil it?
Because I know what you're going towards.
Why you got to spoil it? I mean, come on. Look at this thing. Oh my God.
Incredible.
So, Jacob, do you know anything about what they said about Acolyte?
I know they announced this girl was doing something Star Wars a long time ago.
Yes.
Or this woman.
She's the director of Russian Doll.
Yeah, but we didn't know what it was. And I know I watched this actually. I turned it on as soon as they announced the Patty Jenkins thing, and I watched all the Star Wars stuff after that. And yeah, I just know it's coming from a Sith perspective during the High Republic era.
No, we don't know if it's a Sith.
No, we don't know. We don't.
I thought they said that.
No.
Dark side.
Yeah, because they're actually.
Oh, it's so far fetched. Like,
well, no, wait, he's right, but they actually already said that there actually are no Sith at this time period, so it technically is just a dark side user.
Yeah, a dark side user.
Yeah,
that's like saying a Force user and a Jedi. Like, you know what I'm talking
Kylo
about.
Ren, because Kylo Ren wasn't a Sith.
Yeah, so yeah, a dark side user from a dark side user's perspective, which they can be like an anti-hero. Yeah.
I will say I have a feeling and I hope that it's a female character.
No, it will be. I guarantee you it will be.
I hope to God it's a female character.
I mean, yeah. Maybe she's the one that sets up Exegol. I mean,
that's so far in the past, though.
So, do you think that planet was just established when Palpatine showed up?
Oh, you guys get deep.
I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, Jake, throw that image back up, the logo, please, when you have a chance. That slash reminds me of like Kylo Ren and what happened to his face. It's just badass. It speaks darkness. I love it.
Well, it looks like someone just took a lightsaber through it.
Yes. Well, and if you watch the video, that's what happened. It slashed.
Yeah.
As they popped the logo up, so it actually wasn't like that. The animated version slashed right through it. I've never seen Russian Doll. I've heard incredible things about it. I've heard that it can get very dark, which is why I'm so excited. When she was brought on board to do a show, they had said that it might focus on a female character, and I was heavily theorizing.
They did say that, yeah.
Aphra. Like I was really, really hoping it would be Dr. Aphra, but I also like this idea. We're going back in the past. It's something very different. It's the first version of the High Republic in live action, which we're going to see a lot of in the future. And they're only doing one of them, not doing like 3 High Republic series. They're doing one of them, which is really cool. We don't know if it's just one season or it could be multiple seasons. But the idea of an acolyte, if you know Star Wars history from canon, you know what the acolytes are and how cool they can be. And to expand on it in live action with this director, I mean, how can you not be excited about it?
Hey, question. Do you think this was a project that the Game of Thrones writers were kind of working on?
No.
You don't think so?
I think their idea was scrapped altogether, personally.
Probably, yeah.
Because it seemed like their idea and Rian Johnson's stuff is just kind of on the back burner right now.
So,
which I'm okay with.
So, do I get to talk about my topic yet, or what?
Go ahead, buddy.
Are you done, Jake?
You took too long to talk, so I started talking.
You guys cut me off. Don't even give me that shit.
Too much excitement going on.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't even know what more to say now because Jake said the whole damn thing. But yeah, I'm so.
It's a good point.
Well, yeah.
If it's at the very end, it's a good point.
God,
Is this how you guys are on POV?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe even more chaos. But
that's thanks to Billy's questions.
Billy's questions and puns.
Wait. Insert funny pun here. I've got a mustache.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just so freaking excited. I think more than anything that we're finally getting bad guy stuff. It doesn't always need to be good guys. Like, yes, their stories are good, but like, so are the bad guys. The bad guys have some of the best stories, and it doesn't always need to be a hero. Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, it's almost amazing if you think about it, like how long it's taken from Star Wars to have a bad guy centered story. Like that is not a comic book or a novel. There isn't one. It literally.
Well, look at the comic book genre. Look how long it took them to do a bad guy solo movie, Joker, right? I mean,
Billy, don't you dare say that Anakin, the whole Skywalker saga, is because of Anakin.
The closest thing might be Kylo Ren, to be honest, because he's the second main character in the sequels.
He's the most interesting character in the sequel.
Yeah, I agree. And but still, Rey's still the lead of that, and she's clearly a hero. But Kylo Ren's the closest thing we've gotten.
So I do want to ask before I forget. I want to ask: is there, because we've seen it heavily with the Mandalorian lately, that they're doing something very original, but they're bringing in stuff from prequels. If you know Legends, they're tying stuff in from Legends. They're doing stuff from other canon aspects that they're connecting to the show, not heavily, but enough for us to recognize. Do you think that's a possibility with the show, to where they bring something in that we may recognize but hasn't been done yet? Whereas, and I'm kind of going towards a little bit, do you think there's a possibility we can see someone like Darth Bane show up in this series? If it is in fact kind of almost setting up the Sith, say that it and Molly just called it Plagueis possibly. Plagueis is a possibility. Like what if the acolytes or the acolyte is essentially setting up what becomes the Sith in the future?
It's possible.
And we see a character like a Darth Bane, or we see a character like
they don't have to stick to the Legends timeline. They can,
they
restructure however they want.
Tied into this universe.
Mm-hmm.
It could very well happen in this case, where we do see that happen sometime down the road.
I mean,
Darth Plagueis have a master.
Molly can answer.
So I read that book, the Plagueis and Palpatine book, and when it starts.
Yes, he does have a master. Yes.
Oh, I don't want to spoil anything, but he does have a master at the beginning of the book.
He does have a master.
Yeah, it's. I just looked it up. It's a
Tenebros.
Giant squid thing.
But just question on the table. I mean, do you think this is like the chance for us to see a major dark side character like that?
Oh, hell yes. Oh, you mean like Darth Bane, or just in general?
Just in general, Bane, Plagueis, whoever it is, just in general.
Yes.
Plagueis, yes. Bane, no. Bane, I think they'll save anything Old Republic, or excuse me, Old Republic, for its own shebang. I mean, High Republic's its own thing. The only thing that literally is going to connect them to anything story-wise that we've seen is Yoda. That's it.
Yes.
I mean, they could eventually build something into it, but as of right now, the only thing that connects High Republic to anything we know is Yoda. So they get to literally just say, fuck it. Like, let's do it this way. So,
there you go.
God, I'm so bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They could make Darth Bane part of this if they wanted. They totally could. But I think Plagueis is more likely because it's closer to the Skywalker saga.
Yes.
It makes sense.
Yes. And Plagueis, obviously we know Plagueis becomes Palpatine's master, and it hasn't been confirmed, but it's heavily speculated anyway.
Okay, sorry, Mari. He's a Bith Sith.
Okay, so let's get to some of these others real quick because another big one that we need to talk about we haven't yet is this one, Andor. This is really cool. This is a really cool series. We've known about this for a while. It's kind of been, sitting there, hasn't really gotten going, but now it's officially going.
I'm surprised you didn't lose your mind over this.
I have lost my mind over this one, but Ahsoka comes first.
The second I heard Born Identity, I went, holy shit.
Oh yeah, so Tony Gilroy, who is responsible for Tony Gilroy is responsible for the Born Identity films, the trilogy. And then he obviously came in for Rogue One and did a lot of the reshoot writing on that film, which is his connection, and that's why they went back to him after, sadly, the American writer and director left the project. It's a spy thriller. It's a spy thriller set in the middle of what's called the Dark Times between New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, that 20-year gap. We obviously know a little bit of history for Cassian Andor from what was revealed in Rogue One. But we're going to see a lot of this, and it's going to kind of be the makings of the rebellion in a way, and he's going to be involved in it. It's going to be very dark because we know his history. At the very beginning of Rogue One, he was killing people.
Yep.
So he's an old school spy. He is an old school spy, which I'm super, super excited about. I think the logo is beautiful. It's a gorgeous looking logo, and I think it's going to have that very Rogue One feel where it's very, very grounded. I say it a lot where they make like a war spy movie and then just throw Star Wars over the top of it. And I kind of have a feeling that's what it's going to look like and feel like, which I'm super, super excited about. But the behind the scenes footage, it showed the Yavin base and it showed Rogue One footage claiming that we could go back there at one point, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
I'm excited. No, I was going to say, I'm excited. I think, the opening scene where we meet him and he has to kill I think it's another rebel, right? Because the information he has, I think it's going to be dark like that. And we know K2SO's in the show, right? We know that.
We're going to see how they meet. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is interesting because they told the story in a comic already.
Yep.
So
yeah.
We've already seen Star Wars slightly change things.
Yeah. No, I'm cool with that. And I think Hera's going to show up in this show.
Oh,
I think she will.
But that would mean that possibly the whole Ghost crew could show up in this show.
Well, okay, so
depending on the time,
said it at the exact same time as Jacob.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yep. I think this makes sense because she's name dropped in Rogue One, so I think it makes sense.
But I wonder the exact timeline because she would be unless she goes off on her own little mission, which she may have.
Yeah, possibly.
She would be and that would be interesting to possibly see.
Do we know the exact time of the show?
Not that I know of. Maybe they did announce it. I'm not
Who
sure.
knows? Maybe it's like a year before Rogue One, but still, yeah. I mean, Hera would be with the Ghost crew still. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Yeah. I mean, it could be just one episode. Just how like Ahsoka showed up in Mandalorian. It could be one episode.
Yeah, and Hera could show up so easily. She was always the leader of a rebel cell that was created, and we know Cassian is involved. And she seemed like in Rebels that she was kind of on the higher up side of that whole thing, so she could easily. And obviously in Rogue One, her name was dropped as a commander or a general, excuse me, which is a big deal. So yeah, I mean, if you're ever going to place Hera in live action, I think this is probably the place to do it.
Yeah,
or at least start her off, because I mean she's been through a lot of the stuff, but I mean, not to mention they dropped Stellan Skarsgård's in this with.
Oh, dude, so
yeah,
great.
I know.
Oh, really?
Right?
So great. No, Peter Sarsgaard. Peter Sarsgaard.
No, Stellan.
It is Stellan.
Stellan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
and
Peter Sarsgaard was in a different thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sarsgaard.
Yeah. And then. Yeah, and then you also get Genevieve O'Reilly playing Mon Mothma.
Yup.
So
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this. It's 12 episodes.
Yeah. Spears right.
Wow.
12-hour movie. Wow.
Wow. That's amazing. That means that they're really honed in on telling this story. Wow. I didn't realize it was 12 episodes.
Oh my God.
That makes sense, though.
That makes me wonder if it's going to be a one-off.
I think it's a one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
If it's 12, I think it's going to be a one-off.
I tend to think that most of these are probably going to be one-offs.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
I see Rangers.
Sure.
I see Rangers being a one-off. I see Ahsoka being a one-off. I see Andor being a one-off. Obi-Wan being a one-off.
No.
The
Lando.
Acolyte, it depends on what we see from it. I'm not
Acolyte
sure.
could go multiple seasons. I think.
I think Acolyte
that's
is
the
going to
one
go.
because it's so far away from everything.
Yeah.
They have enough room to tell story. But all the other ones, Lando, one season for sure. Bothan Spies. Bothan Spies.
Oh, the Lando show, man. There's too much. They announced too much.
Well, let's talk about it. So let's talk about Lando and this dope logo.
Love
It
it.
reminds me of credits, and
This
that's why I love it.
ridiculous logo and the music they played during it too. Oh my goodness!
Funky.
Donald Glover is returning. Lando will be getting a series, and there's a high possibility that we also get Alden Ehrenreich back as Solo as well,
That makes sense.
which is awesome. Billy, thoughts on Lando, man?
I just gotta say he's the smoothest guy in the galaxy. Or I actually thought of immediately. I was just like, "Hello, what do we have here?" I mean, I gotta support my fellow Billy and my mustache bro, Billy D. Wilder. He's
That's
not,
awesome, man.
but character.
Interesting. I thought I heard that it was live action.
Oh,
Yeah.
please be live
Jake,
action.
I asked you that because they
I
started.
thought I heard that it was live action.
Because they started doing all of their animated stuff and then put this in there. So I'm curious.
Please be live action.
They didn't
Yeah.
say. I was watching this one. They didn't say, but I hope it's live action. I really do.
I would think it would be live action. Donald Glover would probably come back for a season. I'd imagine.
I thought the only one that was animated was Visions, that anime.
Yeah, that one, and in the C-3PO R2-D2 show. I think
Yeah.
would be the two animated ones, plus the Bad Batch.
Enjoy the story.
Which- I went from not caring too much about Bad Batch to actually like.
Did everyone see Fennec Shand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dope. Anyway, Lando, Gio, what do you think about Lando, man?
It better be live action. No, I'm excited for it. You know, I've been wanting to see more of Donald Glover. That guy's insanely talented. And
I
it
feel like
was
we haven't seen him since Solo.
Atlanta. He did Atlanta season 2.
Atlanta,
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a perfect casting, and you have the chance to bring back Alden Ehrenreich. I wasn't the biggest Solo fan. I thought it was okay, but
Shame.
Lando absolutely.
Shame.
Shame.
Get him out of here.
Shame.
Shame. I mean, it's no Revenge of the Sith, but it's good. Okay.
Shame.
But-
It's the third best Star Wars movie.
I won't go that far. But I like Solo.
Wow.
Brian was with us all, and then everyone just turned on Brian the second.
All right. Cancel me. All right.
He removed himself, by the way, everybody. He removed himself.
Yeah, but definitely excited about this. It has to be live action. Like I want a confirmation. I want Donald Glover back in there.
So true.
Yes,
so
I was
true.
thinking about that. I want him to do that throughout the whole series.
100%.
Shoot his
Oh,
video
it's got to
blogs.
be a thing. It's
Mhm.
definitely got to be a thing. And it's going to be interesting where it's set. It's going to be very interesting on where it's set. If it's set before he loses the Falcon or if it's after he loses the Falcon. Because they obviously have a time period that they can tell.
I think it'll be after.
I would think so, but
Before
you can
Empire.
also-
But after Solo.
because in Solo, remember Kira had said that he's been retired and he doesn't do that stuff anymore. I mean, how cool would it be to see a series on him where he has the Falcon?
Yeah. Oh, actually,
Ooh,
you're actually
L3 back.
you're
and
right.
we would
It's
get
gonna
L3
be
back.
before so they can bring the Falcon back and L3. Duh. Yep, you're right. It's gonna be before.
It'd be very
But
interesting.
no Alden though. But we'll see.
It'd be interesting.
I wouldn't mind seeing more L3. I love her sassy Jordaness.
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge kills it, man. She
Yeah.
kills it.
Man, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch Solo again.
Underrated, man.
All right, so let's see. I think we might have touched on everything that was Star Wars. Let me just go.
Other than Visions, which is shocking to me that they're stepping into the anime world, which
I'm super excited though.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. I'm not hating on it at all. Like,
Great looking logo too.
I'm very, very curious to see what they do with that because that's good. because that is completely uncharted territory. I mean, they might have like some little Stop it.
Crimson Dawn.
That's
But
Maul.
yeah.
Maul.
Darth
Crimson
Maul.
Maul.
Yeah. That's what I was Darth Maul.
I mean, Molly, you can let
Not
us
bad.
know since Alex and Sam are like best friends now on Squadrons. So, but no, Visions, I'm very excited to see because that is something complete. I love when Star Wars does some stuff completely different because it's cool. You have a different take on stuff.
I'm just excited to see the way it looks and
Different
what
kind
kind
of
of stories
storytelling.
they tell. You know that because there's obviously so much stuff they can do, but I'm very excited to see the way it looks because you have to be able to capture anime the right way. And if you don't, you just won't be able to watch it. But if this is the only thing they're going to do in this medium, I'm super excited to see it.
Well, you know they're not going to mess this up too because if you mess up an anime, like people come for you. So like it's if they must have some big confidence in this if they're doing that. So yeah.
All right, gents. Well, any final thoughts on anything Star Wars? I'll go and pull the logos up one more time. I'm excited for the R2D2 C3PO show. It's a cool animation show. Pumped.
I like how she said the mischief that they get into and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that it's going to be pretty funny.
Is Rangers of the New Republic is live action?
Yes. And so Jacob, so I want to break this down for you. So when they announced Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka, it was directly after they were talking about the Mandalorian season 3 and just in general, and they had said that they're going to run in the same timeline, and that at one point the stories are going to collide, and they're going to do a crossover event between the 3 shows.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So they've been setting up
the Battle of Mandalore.
The Battle of Mandalore.
The officer that keeps reoccurring. He's probably going to be part of that show. I'm guessing.
Yes. You're talking about the Asian officer.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 2 pilots. Dave Filoni's going to be a main character.
I don't think
he'll be in the background.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
but the other guy will.
But Jacob, the key here is that Favreau and Filoni are developing both of them, Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic. So they're in charge of all.
So then we could possibly see Ahsoka interact with Mando and Grogu again.
Well, if the crossover event, yes, for sure. And like Brian said, it'll more than likely happen for the Battle of Mandalore.
Yeah, this is great. This is great. Do we know anything else about Ahsoka? I mean, she's looking for Thrawn. We know. I mean, that has to be it.
Yeah, there were no details announced, just the logo. But we obviously think that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, there's so many things to choose from, but I gotta go. Anakin, Hayden Christensen returning man is what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, not to mention, Jacob, they said they're building 3 more volumes.
Yes,
for their shows.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All over. They're putting one literally like on every continent, like to make sure that they like, oh, we want to go to Australia. We're doing that. England, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I mean, might as well if you're gonna commit to Disney Plus stuff. You might as well, and they're also doing the Willow show. They can use the volume for Willow, for Lucasfilm. I mean, if they're going to start doing stuff like that, you might as well take advantage of it. And they're not going to. I mean, they had mentioned right up top that the event started off with them saying you expect to see 10 MCU shows and 10 Star Wars shows.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So
man.
20 different shows. Might as well use the volume. I wouldn't be surprised if the Marvel side of it starts using the volume as well.
Speaking of, it only took us an hour to get to it.
Yes, so let's. Everyone good on Star Wars?
Rightfully so. Wait, what's our watch along?
Oh, all right. Since you weren't here, did you know what it is, or are you?
I don't. I honestly don't.
So the winner of the watch along is, in fact, Galaxy.
Whoa, my movie, nice.
So yes, that'll be happening next Thursday.
I honestly didn't know. That's cool.
Yes, next Thursday we'll be watching Galaxy Quest, which is available on HBO Max. Make sure you join us there. It won with a 38% vote on that poll.
Samir, don't even.
Never give up.
Don't go there. That was literally the first thing Jake said after this thing. Oh,
So disappointing. All right, let's go ahead and get this Marvel news, guys, because there is a lot of it, and I want to make sure we get to all of it. Again, I'm going to run through everything real quick before we kind of get into anything. So Kevin Feige came on. They made sure everybody waited. They waited till the very last second to do the Marvel panel. And they started off with doing the stuff that we know. They started off with all of the Disney Plus shows that we know of at the moment, which is they started off with a brand new trailer for WandaVision. They started off with a brand new trailer for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Then they went to a first trailer for Loki, which looked incredible. Then they went to Hawkeye and officially confirmed Haley Steinfeld, even though we've seen the photos of Haley Steinfeld.
Yay, Jacob! Yay!
Yes. So she's playing Kate Bishop, right?
She's playing Kate Bishop.
That is amazing. I hope they don't keep
good point.
Characters.
Good point. Great point.
I hope they don't keep characters like that outside of the films, like crossing over into the films. Because
you're definitely going to see that.
I would love to see her in the movie. She deserves to be in like theatrical releases too.
Oh no, Jacob! The announcements they made with Marvel, they are definitely combining.
Yeah, you're definitely going to see them. So they started off with the 4 shows. We got trailers for 3 of them. Then we got the news of Hawkeye, and then they went to the animated series What If, where we got a brand new trailer, which looked awesome. It looked great. And then they went to Miss Marvel, and they revealed some behind the scenes footage for Miss Marvel, and we got to know the actress a little bit who's playing her. And then they went straight to Captain Marvel 2, which is just simply known as Captain Marvel 2. They released some details about that one. The main cast and that Miss Marvel will be in that movie, and they put her second behind Brie Larson, which means that she essentially could be considered a co-star. And then they officially confirmed that Tatiana Maslany will be in fact playing She-Hulk, and that Tim Roth's Abomination will be returning.
Wow.
And Mark Ruffalo will in fact be in the series. And then after She-Hulk, after that news, they dropped this bomb that Secret Invasion will in fact be a Disney Plus series. And Nick Fury, so Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn will be leading that series. So we saw them last in Spider-Man Far From Home. So it'll essentially take up from that. And Kevin Feige said they're basically taking on the invasion where the Skrulls infect all of human life on Earth, which is a big deal. And then this bomb was announced that they're doing an Ironheart series for Disney Plus.
Whoa, what?
From Iron Man. And then it was followed by this, which is Armor Wars, which is really cool. And that will be starring Don Cheadle. His War Machine will be starring in that show. And we can get to that as far as what it's about.
Man, you guys are announcing some of this stuff live to me. I didn't know about Ironheart.
And then following up the Star Wars trend, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special will be happening. Only right that this is actually happening. And then it was also followed by this news that Groot will be getting some shorts on Disney Plus. And I believe it's animated. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That would make sense.
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll have to double check on that one. Someone can probably correct us in the comments as well. And then Jacob, the big stuff. Ant-Man 3 will officially be called Quantumanium. And that it is bringing back Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lee, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Catherine Newton will be playing Cassie Lang, and Jonathan Majors will be playing King the Conqueror. That is official. And then it finished up with this bomb that John Watts, director of the Spider-Man trilogy for the MCU, will be directing Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, the first family of Fantastic Four, is officially joining the Marvel Universe. And we will see that after Spider-Man 3 happens, after John Watts finishes up his Spider-Man trilogy, he will be jumping over and giving us a Fantastic Four in the MCU, which is big because we could see these characters before that movie actually happens, a la what they did with Captain Marvel, at least how they filmed her scenes before her actual movie. So yes, a lot to digest, a lot to talk about.
Can I add a couple things that you left out?
Blade.
Well, Blade.
I skipped over the things that were no big reveals, and I know that Black Panther thing is probably something that you wanted to talk about too.
Oh, actually, I mean, yes, obviously, Jacob. They said that they will not cast.
Yeah, they're not going to be recasting.
Oh, I saw that. So I turned it on right when he said that too. And wait, was King the Conqueror confirmed for Ant-Man?
Yes.
So the major sites were reporting it, but Marvel never came out and did it.
They didn't do it during this announcement.
This was an official announcement.
Not to mention, do you know who Catherine Newton is?
She was in Pokemon, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Like a Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was in Big Little Lies.
Also incredible and freaky. She's incredible.
Oh, I do like her. Wait, so they're not having the girl who played her in Avengers Endgame play her.
Yes. Which I do think is a little bit of a bummer, but maybe there's just kind of some kind of conflicts that happen.
Barely saw her, but that sucks for that actress.
It sucks for her, but Catherine Newton is
I'm down for Catherine Newton. I like her. I want her to carry the personality of the girl from the first two movies, though. If she does,
I'm sure.
Even though I know kids change when they get older, but still, like, we're never gonna see that little girl again. That's
they're obviously setting up the new / Young Avengers. Ironheart, Miss Marvel, Cassie
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which and they're bringing back Michelle Pfeiffer as well, and that's the logo. And I mean, so let's get into it, boys. Gio, I'll start with you.
Wait.
Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Jesus. The two things that you left out. We got our confirmation of Doctor Strange having the original Doctor Strange cast in the sequel.
Yeah, so Chiwetel Ejiofor is coming back. Rachel McAdams is coming back. Benedict Cumberbatch is coming back, and then the addition of Elizabeth Olsen.
And then they also said that I forget I don't know the actress's name. Excuse me. Oh, forget it. I am not going to butcher her poor first name. But they're going to introduce Miss America Chavez into that movie.
That was actually reported on months ago.
Yeah.
That was again just another confirmation from Marvel.
Yes, and then and the other confirmation for Thor was that Christian Bale is playing the villain, which is Gore. His name is Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah. God Butcher. I like that.
Interesting.
Oh man.
So must be a comic book character, right? Or
yes. Oh yeah, he's one of Thor's top villains.
Is he an alien?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm wondering. They've done it before where they've had alien characters be human.
They can make him look different. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think that they keep him just as an alien and use his voice. Because to be honest, that character he looks similar to Ebony Maw from Infinity War. He actually kind of looks like a Twi'lek. But
you're welcome, Rachel. You're welcome.
Oh, 100%.
Rachel, you can kind of look at it as like almost like a trilogy of movies.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because he was like, "Yeah, Spidey 3's happening," and then he kept
and they didn't want to say a single thing about it after all this stuff that happened this week. They didn't want to say anything.
Nothing. They literally went whatever they did before, and they're like, and then Spidey 3's happening, and then we're gonna go. They literally just glanced right over it.
So I want to get into something. I want to get you guys' like favorites if you have them. I do want to cover them all, but I want to start with some of the ones that you're looking forward to the most. And Gio, I want to go to you first. Out of all the things that were announced, what's kind of maybe the one or maybe two things that really pop out at you?
Okay, the first one is a little bit of a concern, and I'm just going to get it out of the way, okay, so we can rave about the great presentation that Marvel did put. John Watts as the director of Fantastic Four. That doesn't make you guys nervous?
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I said the same thing to Jake. He called me right after. They must have some major effing confidence in him if he's doing Spider-Man 3 to then throw him to Fantastic Four. Because if Feige, you got to think of it this way. Feige probably has only a limited amount of control with Spider-Man. Like Sony's going to make a call probably, and he might have to accept it. But the fact that they are taking Sony's director to put, because Sony's not going to have any control over Fantastic Four, and giving him his own movie, they must have some major confidence in him. Because I thought the same thing, Gio. I was like, this guy?
I think it's great. I think it's perfect.
Say that like he's a bum or something. But Gio, I want to hear your thoughts, and I have some thoughts on that too. I want to hear your thoughts though.
Okay, well, see, here's what I think. I like Homecoming. You guys know this. I like what was the other one? Far From Home. Although I don't agree. People coming out the theater saying it was the best Spider-Man movie. Like Spider-Man 2 still holds the title for me, but this is the first time a director is now directing 2 franchises. I mean, yeah, you could say maybe the Russo brothers, but they're a directing duo. I have to see how good Spider-Man 3 is. Okay, if Spider-Man 3 knocks it out of the park, no question about it, I'll be all in on John Watts.
If Spidey 3 is in fact Spider-Verse or a version of Spider-Verse, I mean, look, even if the Spider-Verse aspect happens in the last 30 minutes, the film is still co-starring Doctor Strange. Like it still has that's big. That is a big step up from these previous Spider-Man movies. And you're right, if he does like knock it out of the park to the majority of audiences, most people are gonna be like, "Oh, I do want this guy to do Fantastic Four." Like, I think it'd be incredible if he didn't. And you also have to think to yourself now, well, crap, are we gonna see Fantastic Four in Spider-Man 3? Because he is directing it.
Don't start that shit. I can't handle anymore.
That was did I not say? Wasn't that like a bold prediction or something? I said that Reed Richards and Sue Storm will have a cameo, or
we see 1 or 2 of them.
Right. So again, I have to see Spider-Man 3 to like have full confidence, like that he's gonna kill it. I think it's because it's Fantastic Four, and it's already been done twice and failed. That I was into the idea of God, what's his name? The guy from Quiet Place, him and his wife.
John Krasinski.
Yeah. I was into the idea of John Krasinski
directing.
It doesn't mean he can't star though.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe he
might have turned it down. He said, "Look, I just want to play him, and have fun. I don't want to direct it."
It's funny though. It's funny though, because someone made this point to me earlier, and I don't. And it might have. I don't know who it was. It might have been someone on Twitter, and they might be in the chat. I don't know, but they said, Marvel just waits for every other studio to fail twice, and then they take the property away from them. Spider-Man, 2 franchises. Fantastic Four, 2 franchises, and they just swooped them up right up from underneath them. So,
wait,
Billy, go ahead.
You could call Sam Raimi's Spider-Man a failure?
Well, Spider-Man 3 is what I was referring to.
Oh yeah,
gotcha.
I was thinking of there's a Roger Corman Fantastic Four. If you guys,
that's true.
So yeah, this would be technically the 4th time. Of course, it would.
That's very true.
Last point. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can go.
I was gonna say last point. The fact that John Watts is directing it. I mean, Krasinski is not confirmed or Blunt, even though I like to see them. There's a higher chance now that they go young Fantastic Four, which I don't know if I'd be a fan of, because again, the last franchise did that. And they had a great cast. Not to say it can't work, but I want to see Reed Richards close to Tony Stark age, and
maybe a little too old. I would say.
I mean, close. I
would say within 30, like 30 range. I'd say like around 30.
32, 35.
I'd say around 30, high 20s.
Sure.
Like the real age of Miles Teller and all them when they actually played those characters, like the legit age.
Mm-hmm. Stacey just thought exactly what I was thinking. I think
I said this. I had said this. We're going to see them because of the Quantum Realm.
I think so.
Yeah, I think this is probably
Peyton Reed wanted to direct Fantastic Four. Which, Gio, if they announced Peyton Reed as a director, would you feel the same way?
I would have been upset.
Yeah, a little bit because I mean, Jacob, like Ant-Man and the Wasp was fun. I actually had fun watching it, but again, like this is Fantastic Four is important. I know how pissed off you were about the 2015 version and how that let you down. And this is a big thing. This is probably their most important. Like, I know it's not a character solo franchise, but this could set up their next 10 years. So
it's something they can't mess up.
Kevin Feige's not going to let this fail. He's not.
Well, that's the thing. I trust Kevin Feige, and for better or worse, he kind of like has a stranglehold on every director that's working, like meaning he has control. Like they're not just here, go do whatever you want. He has control over what they're doing. So I think that's a good thing because he's able to control the environment. So I'm okay with it. But I kind of felt similar to you, Gio, because I love Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming is my favorite Spider-Man film, and Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. Spider-Man Far From Home, I loved it when I first saw it, but every time I watch it, I like it less and less. And that's just the truth. So I'm on the fence about John Watts directing Fantastic Four. But the bottom line to me is, like I said, I trust Kevin Feige. And he did this for a reason. He hasn't let me down yet. I mean, there's been a few questionable films early on in the MCU, but since then, he hasn't let me down. So that's where I'm looking at it.
Billy, I want to get your thoughts, man. What's the one Marvel news that like pops out at you the most?
I mean, there's a ton of news. Just like, yes, super excited for. And oh no, Gio. If I have to pick one, I mean, we already talked about Fantastic Four, which I actively screamed when I did. I think the one that I'm interested in the most is Loki, actually. Just
After
because
that trailer for sure.
it looks so different than what I was expecting it to be. Like, I have no idea what's gonna happen with the series. Same thing with WandaVision, actually. They both look so different and refreshing. Because Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's gonna be like very similar to the tone in like, the Captain America movies and all that stuff, and it's gonna be awesome. But like,
it looks so good.
It does. It looks so great. And short-haired Bucky. But I think Loki and WandaVision for me, just because they look so absolutely different. And
I thought you were going to say Loki because of Owen Wilson's stash.
Yeah,
and his white hair. And so Jacob, you haven't seen any of the new footage, correct?
I haven't. No, I didn't even know there was a Loki.
Shame!
Yeah,
Shame!
Hey guys, before everybody thinks I'm a bum, I was babysitting and doing homework at the same time. All right,
Jacob, how about this? While we're talking, why don't you put yourself on mute and actually watch the Loki trailer?
That's what I just brought it up right now.
He's like,
Watch the
"I'm
Loki
gonna do
trailer.
it anyway."
I'll
go
mute
ahead.
and we'll talk. So we'll see you in a second. Look, I finally got a real sense of what WandaVision actually looks like. Like, I'm super, super excited because for the most part, up until this point, it very much looked like it was going to be a co-lead thing between her and Vision. What I got from this trailer is that it was so much her, like so much her, like a 75-25 situation. And so having her be in the forefront and it all focusing around what's going on with her and how all this reality stuff is a mess, I'm super, super excited. The visuals looked incredible. I cannot wait to see what it all looks like. Yes, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier looks amazing. That end scene where Sam is fighting up against those fighter pilots, like, are you kidding me? It looks so good. And yeah, Loki looks amazing as well. I think it looks like so much fun and different and unique from what everything else is. It's a totally different side of the universe than we know. Owen Wilson looks absolutely perfect for this series. The white hair kills me.
Chances we get a wow.
Oh, 1,000%. They have to. They have to. In some form. In some form. But yeah, all of the Disney Plus shows at this point, I am losing my mind over. Even Hawkeye, with the announcement of Haley Steinfeld, and I know a lot of people are saying in the chat as well. What If also looks incredible.
What If is going to
the animation app looks absolutely bonkers. I love the way that they're doing this story. Also, it hurts to hear Chadwick Boseman's voice behind that character. But seeing Peggy Carter and that story play out and seeing all of these other characters and their involvement, Zombie Cap, which is incredible looking. Just everything about these Disney Plus MCU shows is so exciting. And the way that they're going to tie into everything and yeah, I mean, just all of it is like the way that WandaVision sets up a movie, the way that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes off of these other big movies, like it's just so exciting going forward.
Yeah, you could say that it's a very good vision.
Right.
I mean, I had to. It's my thing.
Yeah, that is your thing. I will say this. Oh, go ahead.
No, that question right there. Has Wanda been left alone? Is no one checking in on her?
I'm starting to think she's going crazy.
That's what I think's happening. That's what
I think
her powers are getting to her.
So do I.
I think the reality of it all is getting to her.
Yeah, I think something's I'm starting to think that she's losing control, not on her own accord.
Yeah.
House of M situation.
100%.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know if we'll get a full adaptation. It'll be very similar to Spider-Verse.
Like how Civil War that just took like the basic structure.
Yeah, exactly. And which for me, that's okay because it's playing into a larger story.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people aren't getting with Spider-Verse too. People are like, well, I want to see Spider-Verse over like 3 movies. No, because it's going to be just enough to where it's playing into the Spider-Verse story, but also playing into the larger MCU story. And that's kind of what I get from WandaVision too.
The thing that got me was when Monica Rambeau comes up and she goes, "Hey, what'd she say? I don't remember what she said. How are you?" Wanda, she goes, "Who are you?" I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's a twist I did not see coming.
It's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome, man. It's so exciting because we have yet to see, and she's been powerful. We have yet to see what her powers can really do.
And her powers might literally just take over her, and she might.
Exactly. And that's where that House of M stuff comes into play. Like, we could very much see where her powers. It's going to be amazing. Do you see Jacob's reaction?
Yeah. Granted.
Gio, so we were just talking about
WandaVision,
Falcon and Winter Soldier, all these shows. What are you thinking of these shows, man?
Man, WandaVision is going to be a true mindfuck, like to the fullest. That trailer was crazy, and it's just I love that they're able to just you know how they wanted to kind of pay homage to like sitcoms back in the day and all that, but to use her powers to do that, that's just brilliant, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So wait, is Vision alive?
We don't know.
No.
No, he's not. As of right now, no, he is not alive.
In the MCU, he's dead. But the cool thing that we haven't talked about, but the appearance of the stone in the trailer. That's big. Whether or not it's a vision or whatever, not it's actually real. But
Jake, it's a vision.
I'm sorry, Billy.
I was going to say.
But the fact that we saw the stone is huge. Yeah. Like, what if she's able to manifest things?
What if she was not very stoned?
Was that?
That's true. Because what if and stoned?
I mean, that was the stone that gave her powers, was it not?
It wasn't.
Wait, yeah,
it was in the Tesseract.
Same stone that was in Vision.
Tesseract. It was in the scepter.
The scepter. Yes.
Yeah, well, no, but the scepter.
Well, the Tesseract is the scepter one.
No. The Tesseract's the cube.
Yeah, no, the stone in the scepter is what was the one that was in Vision.
Is the Mind Stone.
Yeah, it's the same one, so they are connected through that, which is why they're connected so much in life.
Wait, could you call it gems?
Oh, I never thought about it like that. Because this whole time I'm like, was their relationship really developed throughout the movies?
Yeah, you're welcome.
But
so the Mind Stone gave Wanda her powers and was the stone that was in Vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is she in love with Vision or the stone?
Who knows?
Oh.
These are the existential questions we ask.
Well, I mean, Vision brings it up in Infinity War. Is like that's why she can destroy it. Is because her powers came from it. Yeah.
Yes, Stacy. The posters are awesome going through the decades.
They're incredible,
and those rips on the wall are very significant.
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead, Billy.
No, I also noticed during the posters, like they would show like segments of like Vision with like purple and stuff, but we also saw some new stuff with Wanda. I think she's gonna get a new costume.
I do
too. Sure. It's gonna be more like comic accurate.
Yeah, probably.
The costume like sitcom one where it's like completely like that. I think she's totally just gonna be. It's gonna be like similar to how how Cap's outfit. It's very similar to the comic, but it's not a direct adaptation.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be cool. I just can't wait, man.
I'm
We got so much shit. We are
Jacob, you just watched all this, man. What thoughts?
Well, I watched the Loki trailer, and I love it. Loki is he's in my top 5 favorite MCU characters of all time, and I've been looking forward to this show very much. When they first announced that first batch of Disney Plus shows, I believe it was Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Was that it? Was it just those 3 at first?
And a Hawkeye.
And Hawkeye. Loki was the one I was looking forward to the most. And it's interesting. Like, you don't really know. Look, WandaVision is obviously the most trippy, but Loki looks pretty trippy too, because you don't really know where that's going to go. They're throwing you off a little bit. Like, he somehow becomes an agent of the TVA, obviously, at one point. But he always has his own agenda. And he says, "Brother Heimdall, you guys better be ready." What does that mean? And it's crazy. It seems like they're showing him.
Well, and then the Bifrost sucks him up.
It seems like they're showing him like what his other alternate timeline what actually really happened to him, and maybe they show him his death, and then maybe that makes him realize, damn, I really need to change my ways or something like that. I don't know, but does that have a release date?
No, sometime next year, because WandaVision's in January, Falcon and Winter Soldier is in March, and this will come soon after.
Look,
it's my most anticipated MCU series.
I hope they throw all this shit right in type of when the Snyder Cut stuff comes out.
Brian, you wouldn't want to do that, man, because ain't nobody gonna watch these shows, man. Ain't nobody gonna watch these shows.
Guys, why can't we just watch them both?
See, hey, I didn't start it this time. Okay,
you had to be so sassy and hashtag sassy, Brian. I'm gonna make that a thing. I will.
That's fine.
And,
okay, so away from the shows that we know of, let's get to some of the new stuff that was announced here. We obviously know about Captain Marvel 2. Nothing was really announced about the movie other than that Miss Marvel will be involved. And we obviously got a slight look at Miss Marvel. Not too much about the story, just of the actress that's playing her and how they got her involved, and that was all over Zoom and all that type of stuff. There was actually really cool behind the scenes footage of her realizing and getting to find out that she was actually cast. But the big stuff here that we need to talk about, we have Secret Invasion, which is a Disney Plus series. It'll be starring Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn. We have Ironheart, which actually has an actress attached, and I will get her name here in a second. They actually cast her. We have Armor Wars, which is a long-running comic book that was about Tony Stark's biggest fear about his armor being put in bad hands. Going to star Don Cheadle. And then these ones as well, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It will be directed by James Gunn. I forgot to mention that up top. I Am Groot, Ant-Man 3, and we talked about Fantastic Four. So all of these ones that are left, guys, just thoughts on these real quick. Excitement. Gio, I'll start with you.
Armor Wars. Please bring back Sam Rockwell.
That's what I was thinking.
Hammer. Please.
Bring back Justin Hammer, please.
Yep. I thought about Iron Man 2. You know what? It kind of fits with the timeline a little bit. You know, when Tony Stark said most countries 5 to 10 years away, Hammer 20 years away. Like, it's been has it been 10 years since Iron Man 2?
It's been about 8 years.
9 years? Yeah. So I love that it fits.
Well, Jake, you gotta remember it's 2025.
I apologize. Iron Man 2 came out in 2010, so it has been 10 years real time.
Not to mention, don't forget this timeline's in 2023.
Yes, and before we move on, I do want to say a description about it real quick, just in case nobody knows. What the Marvel Studios Twitter had put out says, a classic Marvel story about Tony Stark's worst fear coming true. What happens when his tech falls into the wrong hands? That's the basis of the show. Don Cheadle is the only name attached to this moment, and maybe the wrong hands do in fact mean Justin Hammer.
Hey, you're gonna get the kid from Iron Man 3 as well, right?
Ty
Simpkins?
Ty Simpkins, yes.
He's still acting.
He is still acting.
Maybe.
Yeah. Looking forward to that one.
I think Armor Wars is really cool.
Yep.
I think it's a great idea. Personally, and I think Brian and I had talked about this, but I want to see the show. I do think Ironheart is probably too soon. Too soon. I would
Does it need to happen? Yes. Is it too soon? just a little bit.
Yeah, I would much rather see an Armor Wars type story where Tony Stark is gone and his tech has gone into wrong hands than see essentially a protege take up the Iron Man name in the form of Ironheart. But Armor Wars, I'm stoked about because I love Don Cheadle's James Rhodes. I want to see more of the War Machine character, and seeing him without Tony Stark is also very intriguing as well.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Dominique Thorne is
Maybe in the movie.
That's her name.
Or in the show.
She's in If Beale Street Could Talk. Very good.
Did they announce the casting of Ironheart?
Just her. Just her. Yeah, just her. Yeah.
Interesting.
But and she is going to be in one of Warner Brothers movies that they're dropping.
I was gonna say the Ironheart was just introduced 2 years ago in the comics, and I was just confirming that. That's crazy. But it's a good story. I read the first issue, and it's a good story setup. So I agree with you guys. It is too soon. It's too soon.
Here's my thing. I have confidence in that actress because she's in. I kind of looked her up a little bit. She is going to be in Judas and the Black Messiah, which is, I believe, a Warner Brother movie that they're dropping next year.
It stars what's his name from Us?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, no, sorry, the other one.
Yeah.
And but guess who is a producer of that movie?
Wait, hold on. Let me guess. I'm forgetting his name. Go ahead.
Ryan Coogler.
Damn it! That's who I was thinking of. I couldn't remember his name. Damn it!
Nice.
So, when I saw that, I went, interesting.
So she's in these small movies that require acting, which is a big deal.
Yes. So am I very excited to see Ironheart? Yes. Would I like Iron Man's legacy to kind of be dead for a little bit? Yeah, a little longer. Yes.
Let's also keep in mind that we don't know when this is coming exactly.
That is also true.
This could be 4 or 5 years down the line.
I would imagine at the very freaking earliest 2023, because you're 2022. You're going to be still waiting for Moon Knight and She-Hulk. So you got some time.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 years away, which, okay.
Yeah, but if you get 5 years, then I'm chilling.
I'll say 4.
Probably.
Yeah, I guess they wouldn't cast somebody if it was that far away, actually.
I mean,
So we'll
they cast Brie Larson 2-3 years in advance. They cast Mahershala Ali as Blade 2-3 years.
Who's the actress that they cast?
Her name is Dominique Thorne. Dominique Thorne.
They cast Dwayne Johnson 6 years in advance.
Yeah, they cast 20 years in advance for Black Adam. I do want to talk about Secret Invasion because this is a big deal. This is a very, very big deal because this story is huge in the comics. To many, it's their favorite. It's second to maybe just a few in all of Marvel Comics. It's a really big storyline, and they're going off of what happened in the post-credit scene from Far From Home, where Nick Fury and Talos go off into space with Sword. How that comes back to Earth, we don't know yet. But the idea is that Skrulls have infiltrated Earth. It's a story that the second we saw the Skrulls come into play with Captain Marvel, that we knew was coming at some point. We knew was going to happen at some point down the line. And essentially what happening is that Skrulls have invaded almost all aspects of life for the humans on Earth. Government officials, possibly superheroes, big people in the world could be Skrulls. And that's going to play out instead of a movie. It's going to play out in a series, which is a huge deal because it can be become like 2 movies, 3 movies, depending on how many episodes they tell, and if they only do 1 season of it. But it'll have massive effects on the MCU as a whole because it'll be a trickle effect for Earth for what happens afterwards. So thoughts on this, guys? Because not just having Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn in the show, but also possibly seeing other people pop up because it is in playing with all of Earth. What are we thinking about Secret Invasion?
It's going to be freaking wild.
I thought it would have been the movie.
Same.
I think that's gonna get set up into a movie, like very specifically, because I have a feeling you can expect something from that in Stage 5.
Like Secret Wars or
Stage
something? Or?
No, just
like,
like
a movie, are you talking about like a movie set it up?
Like a full-on Secret Invasion type movie. Like it's going to be like the groundwork, because you don't want to just be like Skrulls.
I can personally seeing the Skrulls being the next big bad of the next few phases, and Secret Invasion being the final Infinity War / Endgame story. Because it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And the Skrulls are an army. They're a gigantic army. And we've seen so far that there's multiple versions of them. There's the good kind and the bad kind. The bad kind are destroying planets and races of people. And it could become a gigantic thing for Earth and the heroes of Earth.
Like a Mega Skrull or something, or what is it called?
Yeah, there is a Mega Skrull.
The Super Skrull, and that's a villain of Fantastic Four.
And they could easily become the next big bad of Marvel if they play it right. And
I wonder if they do it in a TV show first, though. If they're gonna make it them the villains, like.
But again, we're seeing the same thing with WandaVision. WandaVision could be setting up Wanda as a villain for the MCU.
I think she'll be a villain. I don't know if it'll go beyond Doctor Strange, but in the Multiverse of Madness. But I think she could be a villain for an Avengers film or that level of a movie. It doesn't have to be Avengers, but also Kang's coming too, which.
That's true.
Yeah, I think Kang will play a big part in the future as well.
It'll be interesting.
But I don't know. Secret Invasion is interesting. Like, what's going to be the plot of the movie? Like, or the plot of the show? Is it just Nick Fury and?
Well, those are just the two names announced. As
Talos.
Well, see, that's why I'm thinking
back. That's
why I'm thinking that sets up, and then they get all these actors and stuff in one movie.
So I'm gonna, and I think I'm the only person that watched this. Maybe Billy did. I'm not sure. I'm predicting this right now. The character of Quake from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be in this show.
I've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love it.
Chloe Bennett's Quake will be in this.
God, Daisy would be great.
She will be in this show. I'm saying it right now.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be fitting, right? That would be fitting.
Nothing's been announced. I'm saying it right now, though. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is done. She has connections to Nick Fury because they did meet in the show. Mm-hmm. She will be in this show.
It makes sense. Like it's in the universe. Like it literally is. I mean, They don't too much go TV into movies, but I think that makes sense. She was the best part of that show from when I watched it. Other than Clark Gregg, but she was the best new part of the show that was introduced into the MCU. One of the best. And
she's the only superpowered being, which is why I say that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. What ended up happening to Clark Gregg and what's her name? His second in command,
Melinda May. Yeah, Melinda May. Melinda May lived. Clark Gregg's so Phil Coulson's human version actually died. He had an infection, but he became a cybernetic being, so he lives forever essentially.
He was infected because he took on the mantle of Ghost Rider.
Yes,
and that burned away the Terrigen.
Gio, trust me, it worked. It worked.
It does.
And there's actually a S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy named after him. He's a professor now. He trains young S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. That's where we last saw him.
And he's like a cyborg, or
he's a cyborg.
LMD.
An LMD. That's the version they use, but he's a cyborg.
Yeah, and it's weird to think that that started out as a joke in Avengers, where Tony Stark is like, "You have reached the life model decoy of Tony." They actually do it in the show.
Yeah.
That's a good callback.
Can I digress really quick? Complete left turn. Did anyone else other than me just realize with this one, you're gonna get a James Gunn holiday special CD?
No,
like
that's the first thing I thought about using.
Like he's gonna make a soundtrack for that.
Wait, what's a CD?
Yeah, what is a CD, Brian? What's a CD? Huh?
Well, imagine if a holiday special vinyl to add to Jake's ever-growing collection.
That'll probably come out.
It's happening, Billy.
I'm guessing that's animated. No,
I don't think so.
A fine addition to his collection.
I hope it's live action because I want to see Chris Pratt, and all those people actually do a holiday special.
I can see it.
They said that it's going to be shot during Volume 3, right?
Yeah, they
So
said
Chris Hemsworth could be in it.
I think they said it's going to come out the Christmas before Guardians 3. I think that's what they said.
But it's
They
going to
didn't
be
say
shot.
it. They just said they were shooting it simultaneously with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Please, Chris Hemsworth be in it.
Possibly.
Yeah,
It comes out Disney Plus in 2022, which I believe is slated before Guardians 3.
Yeah, Guardians 3 is 2023.
Yeah, so it comes out the Christmas before Guardians 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
The MCU's going wild, man.
The MCU, it all just broke wide open.
Like it was very like kind of. It started off a little down to earth, you know. I mean, I know they're in, Asgard and all that, but now it's just boom. Everything, the floodgates have opened wide. Now anything can go. Anything goes.
Yeah, which is kind of why I like Secret Invasion taking place in Earth. It kind of shrinks it a little bit, because with Thanos, it's all getting bigger and bigger. Secret Invasion is
even like Ant-Man is going crazy,
Sure, yeah, Quantum Mania.
I still think actually not Spider-Man. Spider-Man 3 is getting crazy too.
Jacob, there's not a single movie going except for Black Panther 2 that is going to be small scale. Black Panther 2 will probably be the only one that's a little bit smaller because it's not dealing with universe-wide situations.
Well, what about Falcon and Winter Soldier? I mean, compared to everything else.
Yeah.
That one as well. That one is
okay.
Some of the shows will, like She-Hulk.
So
She-Hulk will be pretty grounded.
Yeah.
Even though
so my excitement for this whole thing was the one that I got the most excited for was Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That trailer is when I'm telling you guys, when Sam was flying away from those fighter pilots at the very end through that canyon, oh my god.
Okay, so you took my Star Wars one. You're not taking this one from me. So okay. That trailer was insane. And the fact that Feige specifically said this is a 6-episode movie. It's not I don't even want to call it a TV show anymore.
It's big budget action.
Yeah, it's like I just thought of something that's gonna.
So now you're okay with movie being split into chapters.
Excuse me. I was gonna say it's cute how Snyder wants to do 4, but
Oh my god,
we're gonna go with 6.
Hey, that's the second time during this show that you've done that, man. See, I didn't stop.
Like freaking Superman's gonna just crash through your wall and laser you.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, did anybody catch the Avengers callback from Falcon in the trailer?
Which part?
Where Bucky says we need a plan.
I have a plan attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
he said that?
So
Yeah.
Bucky says we need a plan, and Falcon looks at him and he just jumps out of the plane.
Oh yeah.
That's a callback to Cap and Tony in Avengers 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
I missed
like
that because the commentary guy was talking over it.
I just like how he jumped out of the plane, almost a la exactly how Captain America does it in Winter Soldier, where he's
it looks so good.
And Bucky's just
his suit also looks amazing. I love that they're not showing us him with the shield yet. They're kind of keeping it under wraps, which is really cool.
they didn't even show U.S. Agent.
They showed the back of
I know, but we saw.
I'm excited for that. U.S. Agent,
We only saw a little bit of Zemo,
which I love.
and then we saw none of Sharon Carter, which is
that's true.
Did you guys see the rumor of the first script for the show? What Sharon Carter was going to become?
Yeah, which I thought was weird.
She was originally going to become Captain Britain.
Whoa! What?
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So they scrapped that, thankfully. So now she's just going to be Sharon Carter. But I love that she's involved because I think Emily Van Camp played the character awesome, and she was very, very underused in how important she is to the Cap story, obviously.
big time.
Very underused.
My body's like crashing at this point.
Okay, so the one last thing I do want to touch on is the Black Panther stuff. I do want to kind of finish off the Marvel stuff with the Black Panther stuff before we get into some smaller stuff, and we'll wrap up here very, very soon because we do have just a few more things to talk about. But Kevin Feige did come out and say that that they will not be recasting the character, and unfortunately, that means that Black Panther T'Challa will no longer be in the MCU. And I think that I can speak for all of us saying that's probably the right call. It's the best call. Let his legacy live on as that character and don't let someone else take up that mantle. No details were revealed as far as what the movie is going to be about. He just simply said that Ryan Coogler is hard at work writing the story. And the movie is still slated to come out in 2022, which means they're still going forward with it. So just thoughts on this, guys. Do we think that it's going to be Shuri taking it over? Do we think something else is going to happen? Just overall thoughts on the whole Black Panther thing. Gio, I'll let you start.
Yeah, I think it's Shuri. I mean, you're not going to recast, so that limits your options, right? I mean, who else, as far as who we've been introduced to in the first movie, could take on, the mantle? Oh, okay. I was like, what was that?
Yeah, it's my Black Panther cup.
Yeah, I got you. That's nice. Hey. Yeah, Sherry. I think it's definitely going to be Sherry. My thing is, how are they going to address his absence? Are they going to say he's off somewhere fighting, or he, sacrificed himself, or are they going to CGI, use some unused footage? And who knows? We've seen it done very well, and so I've these kind of situations handled very well in previous movies. So I think they're going to handle it they're going to handle it very carefully and with a lot of love and compassion. So I'm interested to see what they do.
Jacob?
Yeah, for the past couple months, I thought they're going to have Shuri become a version of Black Panther, like she's going to take over the mantle, but I don't think she's going to be. I think somehow, I know the leader of Wakanda is Black Panther. I think they're going to find a way where she's not the ruler of Wakanda, but she's the superhero Black Panther. Because do you guys think she would actually want to be the ruler of Wakanda? I don't think so. I think she more wants to be, work on her technology. So I don't know if that's possible for her to be one and not the other, but I do think regardless, I think she's going to be the main character of Black Panther franchise going forward. I think they'll introduce some new characters, but it's crazy to me that they haven't moved it. They haven't changed the date, considering they basically have to rewrite the script, I would imagine. So that's interesting. But yeah, I wonder, let's say they were going to do Namor, right? Do they scrap that and do something completely different? Or do they just rewrite it so it's Shuri going up against Namor or something like that? I don't know. But I'm okay with what they're doing. I think it was very classy how they addressed it. And now the world can we can start, the healing process of losing him. So it's bittersweet, but it's what has to be done.
Billy, what about you?
I think that first of all, I commend Feige for not recasting. It would have been very easy to do that, but I think it's very respectful, and it would have been really inappropriate if they had recast. So I'm with Gio. How are they gonna address that? Because I can't really think of a way that they're gonna do it. I'm sure they'll figure out something. It's just. Oh no! Yeah, okay. Sorry, my computer's overheating.
You're good. You're good.
I'm sure they'll figure out something. Yeah, it's really either Shuri or Nakia, honestly. And because like Okoye has her own thing. I can't see her as Black Panther, and just whatever it is, I trust Ryan Coogler to figure it out because he's very talented, very smart guy, and I'm just happy that we're going back to the world of Wakanda at all. Like, despite the circumstance that I've been put in, this unexpected circumstance, I'm really happy that they're doing it. It's just going to be interesting how they do.
Yeah.
So I'll be patient and just wait.
I will say, and Brian, I'll shoot it right to you next, but I will say that if they do in fact go the story that we think they will be with Namor, it's going to be a big bummer to not see Black Panther and Namor on screen together.
Yeah.
Brian, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the obviously it's the right thing to do. I'm just more bummed that we don't get to see the story of T'Challa anymore. I mean, obviously they're making the right decision, and I'm not saying that they aren't in the slightest. I'm just disappointed and bummed that we don't get to see that story. Like anyone would be. I mean, say it's the same thing that happened with Carrie Fisher. We didn't get to finish her actual story. So I am kind of from the same mind of Jacob. I have a feeling they could maybe go the route of he literally just takes up the role of king and doesn't want to or can't do both. And Shuri is just doing all these things while he is ruling over, and then at some point he dies. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it would be kind of hard since Wakanda has like every medical technology, but maybe they say he had some form of cancer and they couldn't treat it. Like it kind of like almost played off as a real thing. It'd be risky, but in the sense of, I think that they could probably get away with passing that mantle and separating the King and the Black Panther. So because then you don't necessarily need to always be in the throne room for someone to be Black Panther. So like she could go to her lab instead of going to the throne room, and we don't need to always know where his character is at all times if he's the king, because the story is going to revolve around the Black Panther. So I have a feeling they might do something like that. To what Rachel says, I have a feeling they'll think of something. Maybe there was one left saved, or or Shuri. Shuri might create something off of some. Who knows? But yeah, I have no doubt they'll do it in the most respectful of ways. It's just a bummer that we don't get to actually see what they had planned. I mean, I guarantee this character probably was going to go on for maybe even decades, like honestly. And it's the same thing. I mean, like I said, with Carrie Fisher. Unfortunately, out of control things in life happen, and you don't get to see what was going to happen. But the thing that kind of really struck me the most was when Feige was like, "You can't recast someone like him. Like, look at the incredible people he's played in movies. You just can't. Like, you literally can't do it with someone of his caliber." So, yeah, it stinks, but I have all the confidence in the world that they'll handle this in the best way they possibly can.
So let's go ahead and get to our two final things that we're going to talk about here on the episode today. I know we've gone way over time, but this stuff definitely requires it. We have two big things to talk about that came out outside of Star Wars and Marvel, and that is that a new Disney Pixar film was announced that is called Lightyear,
The greatest thing ever invented.
It focuses on this badass before he became the Space Ranger that we know. Look at the animation. Look at the image of this. And he will be voiced by none other than Chris Evans. Will be tackling this character.
It's a movie?
It's a movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is a movie.
Oh, wait, Jacob, do you not know what this is about?
I mean, I heard about it, but I didn't know it was. I thought it was going to be a series.
So here, I'll go ahead and
They've done shows.
So, do you want me to tell them what they said?
So I have the tweet right here. It says, "Here's a first look at the young test pilot that became the Space Ranger we all know him to be today. Lightyear launches into theaters June 17th, 2022." And then it was revealed that he'd be voiced by Chris Evans. And obviously we get the logo, which is awesome. Then we get the image, which is awesome. The animation from the first Toy Story to now is incredible. And then also, just so I throw it out there while we're talking about these two, this was also announced, a new Indiana Jones film that would be directed by none other than James Mangold. It is official. It was definitely reported on a number of months ago, but it has become official that movie is officially in the works by Lucasfilm, and we will be seeing Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones again. There will be no one else. It will be in Harrison Ford as a character. So, boys, Lightyear, Indiana Jones, two final films to talk about here on the show. What are we thinking, Brian? I will let you go first.
Jacob, they're making an Indiana Jones with James Mangold.
I know.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Like doubles my excitement of the movie.
Are you okay though? Like when I heard his name, I went, "Holy shit, Jacob's gonna pass out."
Yeah, and I mean, Jake's the biggest Indiana Jones fan on our crew. There's no doubt about that. So, but I'm stoked.
I lost my ever-loving, excuse my French, my ever-loving shit when I heard the Lightyear stuff. I jumped up and started running around screaming. And then they're like, "Oh, by the way, Chris Evans is going to voice him too." And then
I forget you're a huge Toy Story fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's a genius way to do it. Why? Let's tell the story of how he became the most popular toy in why Andy and them all freaked out so much when they got him.
It's Top Gun in Toy Story.
Where I'm gonna get rid of him. It's amazing. Like it's almost like, how did I not think of them doing something like this?
Yeah, we never even thought of this.
It never even crossed my mind. Like the fact that let's tell the story of why Buzz Lightyear was Buzz Lightyear. It's freaking genius. I know, and we have friends that were like, "Tim Allen's not in it. I'm not in it. Like, I'm not for it." And I was like, that's not the point. You're not telling the story of the toy. You're telling the story of how it became such a popular toy. It's genius. Genius, and the fact that you're having Chris Evans do it, I wanted to pass out. Like it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Out of everything that was shown today, this was the thing I got the most excited about, and still am. Marvel and Star Wars, I would take this.
Oh, is it the same Buzz Lightyear?
No, different Buzz.
Different Buzz Lightyear.
Different Buzz Lightyear.
Because there's obviously thousands of them.
Yeah, that's why it's a different voice. It's a different Buzz Lightyear.
And honestly, if you think about Buzz Lightyear's voice, Chris Evans, you could already hear Chris Evans doing it. It works.
It's perfect. It's
genius.
Yes. You took the word out of my mouth, Gio. And I'll stop because
Billy, should Buzz Lightyear have a mustache?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say no to that, but in this case, no.
What do you think about Lightyear, man?
Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm just like, and I love Toy Story. I can quote the entire movie, seriously. And I agree with Jacob that I can definitely hear Chris Evans' voice, like eventually turning into like Tim Allen's voice, and it's a great idea. Honestly, there's so much content. We could spend like a week or like another 2 hours talking, and we still probably wouldn't get through it all. But yeah, it's a great idea just because we could explore space. That like Pixar's never really done any space movies.
Wally.
Just Wally.
Well, yeah, just Wally, but like that was
2008. That was like over 10 years ago.
That was. It's been a while, and I'm just really excited.
I mean, just imagine, guys, we're gonna see Buzz Lightyear versus Zurg. That's what they're setting up.
Oh my God, who will they get for Zurg?
That's what they're setting up. They're setting up Buzz versus Zurg. We're actually gonna see a hero versus villain story with Buzz versus Zurg. That's like I killed Brian. Like that's what they're setting up is Buzz versus Zurg. But I will say, getting another Indiana Jones film is the best thing. I'm so excited. The fact that it's coming from James Mangold is incredible. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Harrison Ford. If it is just one more time in the role, that's fine. But the fact that James Mangold's going to be doing the story, we see what he can do with story. We see what he can do with action. I love that they said the director from Ford v Ferrari because that is his best film. I'm so absolutely excited to see this movie from him. Indy 5 with Harrison Ford, sign me up.
Logan is his best film, by the way. But
really,
I will say I'm super stoked for this. Anything James Mangold does, I'm just all in 100,000%. And the fact that he wants to do this is great to me because, like, look, Spielberg is arguably the best director of all time. I mean, he's done it all, but this excites me more than Spielberg coming back to do one. So I'm all in for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Harrison Ford's his age concerns me a little bit. I'm not worried about Mangold.
What's his last one?
But he's what, 80? He's 80?
Oh, he's almost 80.
If he's not already, yes.
He's 78, I believe.
I'm curious to see their approach, given his age, on what they'll do, what they'll have the character do. Yes, Indy deserves one more movie, especially after Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He deserves a proper send-off. James Mangold is the right guy. Let's see it. I'll be there in theaters Memorial Day 2023, 4?
2.
2022.
2. Okay. Yeah. And as far as Lightyear goes, man, that's genius. That's brilliant. Man, Pixar, they're just, man, like
light years ahead.
Yep. It's like when Rocky did the Creed spinoff. It was just like, yes, I'm getting the same vibes with this one, and Chris Evans, of course. Come on now. That's awesome. Sorry, Tim.
I'm shaking because the fact of Zurg didn't even cross my mind. And
you're welcome, Brian.
I thought you actually passed out, Brian.
I basically did. Oh my God. I maybe will even see the little squeaky aliens.
Oh, you mean the
the alien. That's what they're called. They're called aliens.
That's it?
Yeah, they don't have names.
I love those little dudes.
Oh my God. Zurg. Who could voice Zurg? Casting table. Yes.
The voice of Zurg.
All right, we'll do Zurg. We will do Zurg. I feel like it's got to be someone that's that plays well with Chris Evans. Maybe
Robert Downey Jr.
No, Hugo Weaving.
No.
Hey, I wouldn't mind that.
Who voiced Zurg originally?
It was a super deep voice, James Earl Jones.
No.
Oh, he did he?
We'll I don't know. We'll definitely do a casting table on Zurg. But all right, guys, I do want to wrap up the show because we are hitting that 2-hour mark here very soon. Any final thoughts on everything that happened today with Disney?
It's interesting that they are sticking to theatrical for a lot of their movies. That was an interesting stance. We'll see what happens, especially with Black Widow, right? May.
To your point, Gio, the only one they said that they're sticking with is Black Widow. They did announce that a couple Pixar and Disney films will be doing the HBO Max model of theatrical and streaming at the same time. But yes, their live action stuff, it seems like they're sticking to the guns on that one.
Cool. All right. We'll see what happens.
Billy, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on here. This was great. I'm probably gonna pay for it tomorrow because it's very late where I'm at. I have to work.
Nice to meet you, Billy, by the way.
Yeah, you, Gio, and Jacob. Hear a lot about you guys, and I try to tune in as much as possible. But no, this was honestly just the best day, and I felt like a kid. Like I felt like a kid in a candy store. I don't know what to take first, but I just know it's all gonna be like it just all looks so good, and I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to have a platform to talk about it. So thank you, Brian.
Thank you for being here.
Welcome, Billy. You're always welcome.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Jacob, what about you?
Man, this felt like just Comic-Con, like the good old days of Comic-Con. We had like when every studio used to go, like it was on that level of excitement. And
Jacob, hold on. You realize that all of this would have been announced at Star Wars Celebration if we were there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because we had tickets to go to Star Wars Celebration, and Anakin. Oh my good, Hayden Christensen might have been there.
Yep.
Ewan McGregor.
Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins walked on stage, and everybody would be like, "What the heck is Patty Jenkins doing here?"
Yeah, that would have been incredible. But I always thought they should bring Hayden Christensen back, and I never thought they would. So I'm gonna go cry later tonight thinking about it.
Stacy, thank you as always for hanging out with
Stacy.
Really appreciate it. You're definitely one of our biggest supporters. Brian, final thoughts.
Yeah, really quickly. So I didn't realize the guy that's voiced Zurg has been in 16 of the 22 Pixar movies as a voice in some.
He'll be back as Zurg then. He'll be back.
So yeah. One thing.
No, I just said final thoughts. I didn't say one.
Oh,
thing.
final thoughts. Oh, holy shit! Like, like my name says, there was a good thing that happened this year. Like, this was incredible. Like, it's just so it was so fun seeing everyone freaking out at the same time. Twitter was just insane. People just going crazy, and just seeing that we can be happy at some points during this year was quite nice. So I am very, very excited for the upcoming years.
You weren't happy with DC fandom?
It was okay.
So I have two takeaways. One, Samir, you are so correct. No Tron! How dare you?
No National Treasures 3 either. What the hell?
Jacob, they did Night at the Museum, though, animated series.
We got Sister Act.
Great.
Real talk. Two takeaways. Okay. One, Disney finally. I'm relating this more so to Star Wars. It took them 8 years, but they are finally doing what we want them to do. They are stepping away from the stuff that we know, and they're doing very, very different things. Rogue Squadron. Whether it's Ahsoka or the other one with the New Rebellion or the Acolyte or anything like that, they're doing different things with Star Wars. And although it took them a long time, they are finally doing it, and I cannot wait to see it all. Marvel, I can never say anything, about Marvel just because they always do what we want. They always, whether it's so outlandish and different, they always seem to please us with what they're doing. So I never had anything bad to say about that. And then I just feel like Disney's finally doing it. I feel like they're finally getting an idea of what we really want as fans from them. I will also say this, and this might be some bad parting words, but they saw the HBO Max thing and said, that's cool, but I'm going to do you 10 times better. And there you go. So Disney came out strong today. You can see the two down there. I had to say that at the very end, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on Apocaflix now for the past 2 hours. Definitely our longest episode so far. What an absolute blast we had here talking everything Disney. This is not done. We will definitely dive into a lot more. We didn't get to Pixar very much. We didn't get to Disney animation very much, or any of their original stuff as well. So all of this will definitely come up here in the near future, whether it's on Apocaflix Now, fantasy drafts, casting table, whatever it may be on the channel. We will definitely be getting to it. So make sure you guys are tuning into all that stuff. So Billy, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. We really, really appreciate it. You're always welcome here on the show.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nice name change. Samir, to Rachel, to Star Wars Decode, to Stacy, Starju, and everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We really, really appreciate it. But for the whole crew here, Gio, Jacob, Brian, and myself, we are Apocaflix Movies. You guys can find us on Twitter at Apocaflix Movies, all audio podcast platforms as well. Apocaflix Now is usually at 7:30 Pacific every Tuesday and Thursday, and we go live on YouTube, so check us out there as well. Hit that subscribe button, and until next Tuesday, have a good weekend, and we will see you guys then.